Monica, what was your project about?
Our project was about the youth in the civil rights movement. On the bus, they showed a video, and it was kind of youth-centered. So I didn't know that the youth played such a big part in the movement, so I wanted to explore that.
We're gonna take a look at the youth of the civil rights movement right now.
As a young person, you do have a responsibility to make this world better. Each generation has that. Then the way
5% of all of our young people are doing great things. They get very little notice and very little credit for the great things they are doing. But there are some of our young people who are not doing great things. They get all the credit and all the attention, all the media. We've got to do a better job of noticing those kids who are doing great things. Those of you who joined this trip are part of that group I'm talking about, at 85%. We've got to tell your story better than we've done in the past.
Over spring break 2009, a group of select students from Montgomery County were given the privilege of joining a civil rights bus tour. For years in school, when the civil rights movement was mentioned, we would hear of Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and the many other adults who led the civil rights movement. On this tour, we learned how great an impact the youth made on the movement. This is their story.
when I see injustice, I don't care who it's committed against. Who it's committed against. It could have been one of those state troopers that beat me in the 60s. If you're treating him unfairly, that's a threat to my child. Period. So I'm going to say something. So I lead by example. But never think you're not empowered. The blood of history makers run through your veins. The weak died on the passage, so it's no such thing.
Oh, yes.
No such thing as you should feel like you can't do anything. But you'll never see me watch injustice happen against anybody and not say anything. You gotta say, you can't be a silent witness.
It is youth like Joanne that made an impact on this country. Rather than watch by silently, she and the many other youth like her stood up to the injustices of the world
and fought to secure their inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The fight for justice still wages on today.
We're ambassadors for our nation. So one of the things that I like seeing is when we go to other countries and they're impressed because our young people have a drive, a determination, and it's the selflessness that we bring to the military service. Other countries see that and they're in awe. And they love working side by side with us because, you know, a young person is making decisions that in some countries, much older people still don't have the authority to make those decisions. So we empower our folks, and that's a good thing.
We've come a long, long way. Your generation is so disconnected from where we were. It's like light years, millions of light years away from where we were. And you wear the rights that we acquired so arrogantly. It's not just a black thing anymore. It's a people thing that young people of all races share the same burden. Now, as a young person, you do have a responsibility to make this world better. Each generation has that. Then the way you found it. What do you mean you're not empowered to do it? Get up and do something.
All right, that was a really interesting video. For you, the editing process was a whole new thing.
It's hard in the beginning, but with the help of Kasum and Noelle and the other kids on the tour, it got easier. And once you kind of get into the flow of it, you don't want to stop. So
one of the first things that we did on Wednesday morning was to go to the Slavery Museum.
So when we got off the bus and they were yelling at us to stand up against the wall. I was just like, are they serious?
Let's go, move it, girls!
From the moment we arrived to the moment like you got off the bus, it was just instant disrespect.
It's 5 males in the building.
Pack it in! Pack it in!
led like 4 of us, 5, 6 of us out of the crowd individually, and led the rest of you guys inside the building, and then brought us into a separate room.
Can you imagine waiting and waiting? Can you imagine being treated in such a way all because of the color of your skin? Now we're going to warn you, no matter what takes place, you are to stand still. You are to stand still. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand?
Yes.
You are to stand still. It's not that we like you. We do not want damaged cargo.
We're crying for every person that got killed, every person that got beaten, raped, and we're supposed to do this every time she says a certain cue.
The whole trip, I felt like they fought for freedom, and I'm just living off of it.
That's why in my life, I choose. I know I do not have the right to ever say I struggle. I have challenges. My ancestors struggled.
I mean, that certain part of the trip really gave me a lot of details that they couldn't tell you in school because maybe it was just too harsh.
We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our children to teach this history.
If somebody were to take over America, we all could become slaves in a day. So you just have to know where you've been and just try to
Be humble.
yeah, just be humble.
That's why you have to be conscious. The tongue is the most powerful weapon in the world.